Shalom, shalom. This is Kapaya, aka Pops out of Gym in Chicago, with another sit down. Before I get started, though, like always, I want to send all praises on the God to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Kakodash. To the apostles and elders of GMS out of New York, I want to send double honors because they do well. To the brethren around the world pushing this truth and because I'm fit to give you good, the bad, and the ugly, declaring war on the planet. Well, I won't say declaring war on the planet. I'll say declaring the prophecies and the interaction with the people of the planet. That's in salutations. So hopefully, hope this is edifying. For our prophets, this is fulfilled in charity, keep doing so. But for the scorn is called for reprobate to their ears, like to other nations. It's close to what you think. Okay, basically this is Psalm 64:8. CNN reporter Giuliani makes a stunning admission. Basically told him himself. So it ain't nothing new for Giuliani. He does it quite often. So we're gonna let this play through. Then I'll put some scriptures on it.
This just in, Rudy Giuliani just talked to the New Yorker, and the president's personal attorney could not have been more frank about why he worked to push out Marie Yovanovitch from her position as U.S. ambassador to Ukraine. Yovanovitch is a respected career diplomat who served ambassadorships under 3 presidents. Remember, she testified in the impeachment inquiry that she was forced out in May. So let's go straight to CNN Crime and Justice reporter Shimon Prokopez. Shimon, so what exactly did Giuliani say?
Yeah, forced out, Brooke. Just to remind folks, she was forced out based on what she believed was a lot of false narratives, false information that was put out there by people in the Ukraine, by...
See this thing? False narrative, false information. See, this is what we tell you. See, we said Esau is losing control of the narrative. Because he's losing control of the narrative, and he doesn't have control, and the narrative is changing and moving away from what they want it to be. These elite banking families and everything. And the truth is being able to get out there. This is one of the reasons, one of the main reasons why they got to shut everything down as far as this internet, especially this YouTube, because we got so much damnable information on Esau that's out there that is driving them nuts right now. Uncle E, as they say. So with all this having been said, just let this play. But like I said, see, he can't control the narrative now, so things are starting to get out of hand, and all this wickedness is being exposed.
Giuliani made its way to the president, and then ultimately she was recalled and removed. And this is really a stunning admission. I think in reading this from Rudy Giuliani when he was interviewed by the New Yorker, and what he basically says, he admits to the entire thing, saying that I believe that I needed Yovanovitch, this is the Ukrainian ambassador, out of the way. He said she was going to make the investigation difficult for everybody. And of course, he's referring here to the investigation into the Bidens. This is exactly what the Southern District of New York, the U.S. Attorney here, is investigating. Why did they remove her? The removal of her and the facts surrounding that are mentioned in the indictment of the associates, of Rudy Giuliani's associates that were just indicted in the last few months. That investigation very much ongoing. And I think anyone you ask, lawyers that I've read this quote to, they're just floored by it. It is an admission in some ways, and it's also, he is saying this in the middle of this investigation, something that the Southern District of New York and the FBI is looking into. Yeah. It really is shocking, but not probably surprising because it's Rudy Giuliani. But for his lawyer, and certainly it's going to make his job a lot much harder.
Added to the bucket of current investigations.
President Trump is strongly defending Rudy Giuliani tonight as his personal lawyer stirs up yet more controversy in connection with the Ukraine scandal. Let's bring in our analyst to discuss. And Susan Hennessy, you've got a new book coming out next month entitled Unmaking the Presidency, Donald Trump's War on the World's Most Powerful Office. Just got it. Looking forward to reading it. I'm sure there's a lot of useful information in there. But let's talk about Giuliani right now. His effort to oust the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch. He says in the New Yorker, "I believe that I needed Yovanovitch out of the way. She was going to make the investigations difficult for everybody." What does that tell you?
I think it's a really significant admission, even though it's something that I think a lot of people already suspected was the reality. This is Giuliani acknowledging that the smear campaign against Maria Yovanovitch was indeed tied to this essentially corrupt pursuit of wanting political investigations. It's also really significant that he said they needed to get her out of the way in order to get these investigations. If this administration actually cared about corruption, about rooting out corruption in Ukraine, Maria Yovanovitch is someone they would want on their team. This is a person who has a very strong reputation among both Democrats and Republicans for being a crusader against corruption. So the fact that Giuliani identified that he needed to get her out of the way is a pretty strong indication that what he was looking to do was not root out corruption, but actually engage in corrupt acts himself. It's also an indication of how valuable Rudy Giuliani's testimony might be to our full understanding of what exactly happened here.
You know, Wolf, it's of course worth it to read the entire story by Adam Entos, my colleague in the New Yorker, which is just unbelievable in its detail. But you know, you just have to ask yourself, who is Rudy Giuliani? Why is he there? What is he doing? And the idea that he is working as a criminal defense attorney is just absurd. He is running American foreign policy. He is trying to get the American ambassador out of the way. Think about that as a concept for a private citizen. And he succeeded. I mean,
trying to get a private citizen out of the way, or trying to get an official out of the way, whatever one it was. Let's be for real about it, man. Come on now, for real. Let's go and deal with this first. This isn't one that I even had here. We're going to deal with this. Isaiah 10:1. Warn to Isaiah 10:1. Warn to them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. So they're gonna throw salt on this. They're gonna throw salt or shade on this female to get her out the way, because their inconsistencies are so sloppy now, like we've been telling them, that anybody can see it. And so now even their female counterparts get at them and catch the shade that they got going and don't like it and whatnot. So Giuliani was afraid this female was going to blow the whistle on how much shade that she found in the background without them being able to sweep it under the rug first. And see, this being the information age, as soon as it cracks, it's out there on the internet. No matter how much they try to bring it back, they can't bring it back once it's been cracked out. Okay, so let me go to the scripture. See, the words of a wise man are graceful. The words of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips of a fool will swallow up himself. So, Giuliani, while taking himself out, and take President Trump out, he ain't so far removed that, Giuliani can't be saying something that can get him actually caught up, because they've already, but this was something I had thought about doing about a few days ago, but now they done already dropped one charge of the impeachment. They said, okay, we dropped that, we got to see the second part of it now. So this is nasty. Okay, the president, as they say, the emperor ain't got no clothes on. The president is being exposed for the vagabond thief that he is. That was declared by Yahweh by Shem Shah that he was going to be that vagabond thief, going all the way back to Genesis. Okay, let's go to the Psalms. like I said, he telling on himself. So let's let that scripture come out. Psalm 64 and 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So see, the same way Epstein situation made all his so-called buddies that was in that ring with him doing their thing start dissing them. So they want to give these people space now because they can't trust the fact that they gonna keep their mouth shut. Okay, so it's becoming real jacked up and real ugly to be an elite Edomite because the number one code of not talking is being broken time and time again. Wisdom of Solomon 4 and 19. For he shall rend them and cast them down. I'm starting 18. They shall see him and despise him. Who's that him? That's this Edomite. Okay? And the Most High shall laugh them to scorn. And how's he going to do that? He's basically doing a lot of them by the prophets. You know, this is scripture actually came out a long time ago with. And I love this scripture because he's going to laugh them to scorn. And how is he going to do it? You know, because his prophets are going to be bringing it out and showing it and then laughing them because they're getting sloppy with it. Okay? And they shall hereafter be a vile carcass and a reproach among the dead forevermore. For he shall rend them and cast them down headlong, that they shall be speechless. Okay? They ain't gonna want to say nothing or whatnot because of the fact that every time they open their mouth, they telling on themselves. And he shall shake them from the foundation. They shall be utterly laid waste, and in sorrow, and their memorial shall perish. So that Mount Seir, which is the landmass and the power structure of these so-called elite breaker families and everything, is on its way out in a big way, a real big way. Okay, go back over here. Esther 7, verse 5. Esther 7 and 5. Then the king Assyria said it to, hold on, do I got this right? This is no, this is an Esther that I'm looking for. Let's see what could this be. Esther. Oh, actually, I'll take that back. There's Esther. I just said he got my. Let's see what this is here. Esther 7, 5. Esther 7 and 5. Oftentimes also fair speech of those that are put in trust to manage their friends' affairs hath caused many that are in authority but to be partakers of innocent blood, and hath enwrapped them in remediless calamities. Okay? Like I said, Giuliani is now trying to clean up a madman's mouth, which is Donald Trump. But like I said, I did a sit down long ago when he actually first came in the office about 6 months in, that they realized that this man wasn't going to be doing that learning curve and trying to figure out how to be a politician. He's going to still be that braggadocious, ignorant motherfucker that he was back in the 80s with no filter and whatnot. So he doesn't have the diplomacy or whatever the case might be. So they get a chance to see what they wanted to see. You know, they had 4 years of what they thought was a nigger with Obama, but he told that wasn't the case because he this was when he was at that gate where they used to put all the slaves on the ships, bringing them over here from the west coast of Africa to America. He said this is where they put Michelle people in slavery. So he know his daddy was a Kenyan and he wasn't cut from the same cloth. Okay? Okay, so let me finish this. Verse 6. Beguiling with the falsehood and deceit of their lewd disposition, the innocency of goodness of princes. So you see, they done put all this fucking folly and bullshit and falseness out there. And now, like I said, and in 73 and 3 of Psalms, it says, you know, motherfucker was envious of the shit, you know, when he saw the prosperity that was going on in the process of this wickedness, and how it was still this wickedness that should have been anchor around his neck that would drown him, because the Lord dealing righteousness was getting ahead. He was like, you know, we like, what the fuck? So if you let them get ahead, then we need to buy into the same doctrine and the same motherfucking bullshit. Okay, you know, all that shit. But you know, like I said, this was the wickedness that we saw and bought into. Now you may see this as we have declared, not so much by ancient historians as ye may, if ye search what hath been wickedly done of late through the persistent behavior of them that are unworthily placed in authority. See, this Edomite is the basis of man. He shouldn't be in authority. Okay? But it took that because the Lord said he was going to put us under the rulership of the basis of man. Okay, so now we get a chance to see how wicked and how fucked up it is, and we know that he shouldn't be there. Okay, so now that we stand bold and bring his shit to the table per se, you know, we the ones that everybody want to look at as the bad guy, call the black Hebrew Israelites, and we the liars, and let a guy like Donald Trump so-called trying to declare the nationality of a people. A nationality of a people is something that's declared by the Lord. He's in no place or position to be able to make that declaration, but they think that they can and get away with it, but all they're doing is fooling themselves. Okay? Like I said, Job, because Job 9:24, the earth was given it to him, so you think he can do all this stuff and get away with it. So let me go to this last scripture and deal with this and call it a day. Psalms 37. Psalm 37 and 7. Rest in Yahweh and wait patiently for him. Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. Okay? Don't worry about him and his wicked devices and how far along he done got. He's going to be destroyed per the scriptures. So with that having been said, we just need to hold on and wait for him. So I hope that's edifying to the elect. So I want to send all praises, honor, and glory out to Yahweh Bashim, Shalom Bashim, Kakurash, to the apostles and the elders of Jesus being out of New York. I said that one because they even rule well, or they do rule well. And for the hopeful elect, I hope that's edifying. The hopeful elect, the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. And besides those people who I'm sending Shalom to, the rest of the planet, I said a Barber Ball.